Yeah. Yeah. Morning all. So myself, I'm Vijay. I hold 16 years of experience, which includes nearly 8+ years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, right? Experience in implementing large-scale business critical systems using object-oriented programming design and concepts using Python and Django, and developing varieties of web applications using MVT architecture and using server-side applications, right? So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yeah, can anyone please confirm whether?
Yes, sir, your voice and screen is visible.
Fine, thank you. So as part of today's demo, just I'm going to cover the following topics, right? Why Python? Why Python, right? And because Python is not a kind of technology which is which is not very recently introduced. It was introduced in the year 1989, 30 years back. But why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom? What are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular? And who can learn Python? What are the prerequisites for learning Python? There is no prerequisites. Anybody can update with Python, right? That there is no prerequisite that you need to have the knowledge of C or Java, right? So anybody can update with Python. So we'll be discussing everything from the scratch ground level to the advanced level, right? The syntaxes of Python are little different as compared with other programming. So we'll be discussing each and every syntax from the scratch and how Python was built and how Python was derived, right? It has taken the features and advantages of multiple programming languages, right? We call Python as a hybrid language. And Python real-time applications. What kind of applications we are going to develop today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications, right? And Python usage. Python, who are using Python today? And Python comparison with other programming, like coding wise, you can check complexity wise and that length wise, right? How this Python code looks as compared with other programming, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming languages, right? Very less code we see in Python. And reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? Python scope and job market. Whenever you are updating with any technology, right, you need to know the scope of it and the job market currently. The scope indicates, right, in the coming years, how many years the Python lasts in the market and the job market currently, right? So these are the topics what I'm going to discuss in today and tomorrow session, right? And why Python? So Python is I define Python in 5 lines. It's a general purpose programming, multi-programming features we see in Python, high level language, interpretation language, and user friendly or programmer friendly programming. Let me brief you about all this. General purpose programming language. Python is a general purpose programming. Before Python, we have got some languages. If you are aware about these programming languages like Pascal. Before Python, we have got some programming languages like Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, right? These languages are purpose-based languages. These are purpose-based languages. They are used for a specific purpose. For example, Pascal used for developing scientific applications. Fortran used for complicated mathematical applications. COBOL for business applications. Means they are used for a specific purpose. They are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purposes, right? But a language which is suitable for developing any type of application, right? Such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. So Python is such a kind of programming where we can develop any kind of applications. like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, gaming applications, desktop applications, networking applications. So wide varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python. So it's a general purpose programming, any kind of applications we can, multi-programming features, right? Multi-programming features we see in Python. I'll give a level example, right? If you are launching a new product in the market, for example, if you are launching a new mobile phone into the market, to attract the customers, what features you want to see within it, what all the features we see in different other mobiles, everything, if you are embedding into a single piece, and if you're launching it, right, going to attract the customers. In the same way, Python is such a kind of programming where we see the features of different other programming languages within it. What all the programming features we see in other programming languages, right? We see all those. That's why we call Python as a hybrid language, which are because of multi-programming features. We call Python as a hybrid language. So what all the applications which are developed by other programming, we can also develop by using Python. High level language. Python is a high level language, right? Yes. There are two types of languages. There are two types of languages, low level languages and high level languages. Low level languages and high level languages, right? Low level languages, right? Like assembly level language or machine level language, right? Assembly level or machine level languages, these are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. They are not portable. And they are mission dependent. They cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. Machine dependent, not human understandable. They are not portable, and they are machine dependent. Machine dependent, they cannot run on all the hardwares and all the operating systems. High level languages like Python, right? High level languages like Python, they are human understandable. The Python statements look like normal English statements, and they are portable and machine independent. They can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Human understandable, right? And they are portable and machine independent. Machine independent, right? Yes. They can run on all the hardwares and all the operating system. Interpreted language. Python is an interpretation language. Means interpretation, line by line execution you are going to see in Python. It won't execute the entire program at once like other programming like C, C++. So it interprets line by line execution you are going to see, which makes debugging easy. And Python is a cross-platform language which can run on any platform like Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. In Linux, no need of any special installation of Python, no need of installing Python also. By default, Python comes as an inbuilt within this Linux operating system. Whatever the Linux flavor you are using, Red Hat Linux, CentOS, or Ubuntu, right? By default, you see Python as inbuilt within this. Yes. User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming language, right? Python is a user-friendly programming or programmer-friendly, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements, right? So these are this like it's a general purpose programming. Any kind of applications we can develop. It's not for a particular purpose. Multi-programming features we see. What all the features we see in other programming we see in Python. High-level language, human understandable, portable, and can run on all the hardware and all the operating system, like interpretation, line by line execution, and user friendly programming language. Right? Yes. Yeah. 1 second. Just observe this, right? Who can learn Python? Like I said, there is no prerequisites, right? No, that you need to have the knowledge on C or Java. Nothing. Without any programming, also you can just update with Python. Mm. Observe. Python. Python has Python has got what properties or what features means Python has got procedural oriented programming features, procedural oriented programming features, right? Like C language, right? It has got like object oriented programming features, right? Like C++, Java, right? Yes. It has got scripting features. Python has got scripting features like shell script. It has got the features of shell script. Modular programming features. Modular programming like modular 3. So here, right? Like C language, we can develop applications like Java. We can develop like C++. We can write many scripts using Python, and like modular 3, we can develop many applications, right? This Java, if you talk about this Java, right? Java developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. Without object-oriented programming, there is no Java application or Java program, right? Without class and object, we cannot write a Java application. But in Python, with object-oriented, without object-oriented, with procedure-oriented, right? We can develop many applications. Yes. So here, if you talk about the two major programming languages, we see like two major programming languages in the industry currently, Python and Java. Both are mostly used for enterprise application development. If you talk about the comparison of Java and Python, Java, if you go back like 10 years, for example, in 2010, Java is mostly used in the industry, right? Java is 43% used in the industry, the usage of Java 10 years, or if you see 12 years ago, right? But Python, most of them even are not aware that there was a programming language like Python. It was only 3% used in the industry, right? But 10 years later, like if you to go like 2020, so the usage of Java, right? And the usage of Python. The usage of Java is like 19%, and the usage of Python, right? It increased to 31%. I'll just show you some graphs, right? The usage of uh, the different programming languages in the industry currently. So I'll just show what is the usage of Python, Java, C, C++, all at the end of the session. I'll show you some graphs in Google, right? So here a Python, so we can also use Python C for scripting, for writing scripts like automation scripts within this IoT robotics in AWS DevOps, right? We can write many scripts using Python. And in modular programming, Python has got great boom because of this modular programming, where Python is providing nearly 89,300 is providing modules. How many modules? 89,300 inbuilt modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for the various domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python is providing a module, right? For example, if you're from networking background or for testing background or data science background or big data background or any other database background, Python is providing modules for every background. Nearly 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing. Okay, for example, if you talk more on these modules, yeah, first for data science, right? For data science, we have separate modules Python is providing, right? We have got separate modules, like nearly some 10 to 15 modules available for data science environment, using which we can perform this like and data analysis, predictions, clusterings, classifications, like NumPy module, Pandas module, Matplotlib, CP, Scikit-learn, like. And even for big data also, we have got separate modules Python providing, right, using which we can perform the operations. For every environment, Python is providing modules today. That's the reason Python is mostly used even in the implementation of various domains of various high-end technologies, even for networking environment, right? Python providing separate modules, not only modules, a separate framework itself Python is providing for this, and for testing or test cases. For testing or test cases, right? Yes. And for operating system, OS, for okay, 1 second. For OS operating systems, right? OS kind of activities, right? For performing, the name of the module itself is OS. We can perform many OS related activities. And for every database, right? Python is providing a module. If you want to connect with Oracle database, if Python wants to connect with Oracle database, we have got a separate module like cx underscore Oracle is the module to connect with Oracle database and perform all the database related operations. Means with by writing Python statements only and executing that Python code, a table gets created in the database. If you want to insert data into the database table, by writing Python statements and executing, go and check in the database table, data will be inserted. In this way, without entering into the database, directly by writing Python statements, I can connect to it and I can create and I can insert, I can retrieve the data from the database. And for MySQL, for every database, right, Python has got a module like MySQL. It has got PyMySQL is the module required to connect with MySQL. For every database, for SQL server, we got PyODBC. In this way, a module. It's very simple connecting with the database in Python. It's not like as complex as other programmings. Just 1 minute, just like the module and the connecting details, username, password of the database. That's enough. And if you're working with different types of files, Excel files, I want to writing a Python program to create an Excel file. We'll just write 2 3 lines of Python code and you will execute it. You will get a Excel file gets created. This Excel workbook gets created with whatever name you have provided and whatever is the path you have provided. At that path, go and check. Excel workbook, Excel file will be created. Later, I can insert multiple sheets by writing Python statements only. If you execute it, you can see multiple sheets getting created within it. And you can write data into sheet 2. Whichever sheet you want, you can write data into a particular sheet. And you can read data from sheet 3. In that way, you can read, you can write, and you can perform various operations, right? We have got modules like XLRD module, XLSX module, and not only like Excel files like CSV, comma, separated values files. The name of the module itself is CSV, JSON, JavaScript object notation, where we see key value notation for XML files and for PDF files, writing Python program for creating PDF files. And apart from this, for mathematical operations, we have got math module. For statistical operations, statistics, right? We have got Python providing module for all this, right? And for generating graphs in Python, any type of graph you can generate using Python. Normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plot, stack plot, pie graph, right? Anything with right, just writing 2 or 3 lines, graph will be generated. Okay, so in this way, I've just given some of the examples, right? In this way, 89,300 modules Python has got for the various. It doesn't mean that you need to have the idea about all these thousands of modules, depending upon the domain, right? What domain you are from, you will be exploring only the domain specific modules, or you will be, as part of our course, we'll be learning some modules of different environments, right? So that you will get the idea how to use it and how to work with it, and how to dig into the model, how to explore any model, how to import it, different ways of importing, renaming it, reloading it, right? Everything will, and how to create our own module in Python, right? If it is not available. And before you update with any technology, you need to know Python used for creating what kind of applications. Python is used for developing what kind of applications. So today Python mostly used for developing which what kind of applications, right? Python real-time applications. So here I'll just brief you one by one where exactly Python is used today and what kind of applications are built today. We have got widely used in developing many applications. Mostly used Python is used currently for web applications creations, web applications, right? You may ask, you may get a query, right? Already we have got Java, .NET, all this, right? They are used from last 20 25 years in developing web applications. Why again Python? Means Python has got frameworks like Django, Flask, Pyramid, TurboGear, right? Many bottle framework, but most famous framework among all is Django framework. At a rapid speed, you can develop a web application with very less coding. You can develop a web application using Python. Yes. Apart from this, today Python mostly used in creation of automation applications using technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, Internet of Things, and AWS or DevOps, right? So we can create many automation applications today, right? If we talk about this IoT, right? So today everything through online, right? Online education, on e-learning, online banking, online shopping, online business, e-commerce, online communication, audio, video, chatting, online games, online healthcare, everything through online, right? You should have seen like smartphones and smart TV and smart homes. You are going to see like smart homes and smart cities, right, in the coming days. So I can say IoT, it is a physical network or device embedded with electronics, software, sensors, and network connectivity, right? Used for exchanging data, collecting data, and controlling the things from the place where we are, right? So in a simple way, I can say electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other. So here the coding goes in Python, right? So 90% of the coding here goes in Python. And if I talk about this data science, right, where exactly this Python, so so for data and for data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clustering, data recommendations, right? So here data science is a blend of techniques. But the main technique what we see in data science, ML, machine learning, right? Observe here, machine learning techniques are available for all the ML techniques. Many techniques are there. Machine learning techniques, regression, classification, clustering, recommendation, pattern matching. All these techniques, machine learning techniques, to implement, to code, to implement or to code, you require a language. You require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen, mostly used to programming for this data science environment, where Python is providing many modules for plottings, visualizations, for data analysis, right? Yes. Where Python is providing many models towards, okay. So, but Java is never used for implementing this data science, ML, machine learning, deep learning, or artificial intelligence, right? So Python is mostly preferred for implementing this. And if you talk about this AWS or DevOps, right? So not only this, right? Python acts as a remedy to any problem in the IT industry, right? When it comes to DevOps, right? The ultimate goal is to reduce the time taken in the DevOps life cycle in improving the efficiency, right? So Python offers a structural solution in terms of automating the task in each of these stages of DevOps life cycle. Like if you see the stages like requirement gathering, system design, system implementation, system testing, system deployment, system maintenance, right? For all this, Python is one of the best scripting language, vast varieties of libraries, which allows to write scripts for the improved development life cycle, right? Yes. So apart from this, Python is also used in big data today a lot. So we have got big data, Python, big data, right? So if the name itself saying like huge volumes of data, today if you see how that, so I will just take a minute in explaining where exactly Python used within this big data environment, right? So today if you see like you got KBs of data, MBs of data, GB, gigabytes, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, etabytes, petabytes, so on, right? So from TB onwards, we are saying it as a big data, huge data, right? From TB onwards, we say like huge data or big data. You should have seen KBs, MBs, GBs, TBs also. But do you think like petabytes or exabytes of data is it getting generated in the current real world? Means yes. If you talk about that social media like Facebook, right? Generate what is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? It has got millions and trillions of users. What is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? How many posts and videos are getting circulated? What should be the storage capacity to store all these posts, right? So huge data is getting generated, right? Yes. If I take just 1 minute transaction, right? What is the data generated by Facebook, right? Twitter tweets, Twitter tweets, right? Yes. And Google queries, right? Google queries. What is the data generated by Google in a minute? Huge data, right? Twitter, Facebook, or if everyone creating your own videos and uploading in the YouTube, right? YouTube videos upload, what should be the storage capacity? Huge data, right? millions and trillions of people using email messages, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all the messages, huge data, right? And talking about bank transactions, millions and trillions of people making multiple transactions per hour, per day, per week, per month. Each and every transaction need to be stored. Similarly, like telecom transaction, and similarly like e-commerce websites like Amazon, Flipkart, they can use they're generating huge data, right? So for this huge data generation in petabytes, we have got some big data tools available like Hadoop, Spark, which can store huge data, unlimited data, and they can process huge data in quick time. So they can be implemented using languages like Scala, languages like Python, right? Scala is a very high speed processing where it can process huge data in quick time, right? Spark with Python, we say like PySpark. Spark with Python we call like PySpark, right? So even it is used in big data environment. Next, I'll just brief you the various other applications where Python is mostly preferred in scientific applications, right? Scientific applications or numerical analysis, right? Where Python where we are using models like NumPy, numerical Python, and CP, scientific Python, right? For this, and apart from this, for graphical user interface or animation application, graphical user interface or for animation application, we have got models like PyQt, tkinter, and for Python used for game development. Today, if we talk like lot of games are getting developed using Python, right? Single user, multi-user online games are getting developed using Python. So especially for game development, Python providing a separate framework called Pygame. It's a framework given by Python for developing games in Python. Apart from this, Pygame, Pykara are the two frameworks given by Python. Yes, for developing games in Python, right? Pykara and Pygame. Not only this, Python providing some 3D rendering libraries, right? Some 3D rendering libraries like PySoy. For 3D games, right? Python is providing some 3D rendering libraries like PySci for 3D games. And apart from this, Python is used for scheduling tasks. We have got Airflow Python is providing, and for Python is used for testing our test cases. So for scheduling, I said we have got Python providing Airflow. And Python is used for software development, right? So software developers make use of Python as a support language. So we use Buildbot, Apache, Gump for automated compilation and testing, Roundup Track for project management and bug. So software developers, they use Python as a support language. And apart from this, Python is used for business applications. For business applications, right? Python is one of the greatest choice to develop e-commerce systems. Apart from this, the one of the hottest applications of Python, database applications, right? Database applications where Python can connect with any database like Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, etc. Right? Yes. And Python used for network applications or network programming, right? So networking applications and network programming, Python is used, especially for this Python for networking side. It is providing a separate framework itself, like Twisted Python. What is that? Twisted Python, a framework for network programming, right? Yes. Okay. Apart from this, Python is used for web scraping. If data in database, it will query it. If data is not within that, right? So it is, we are going to scrap the data, means scrapping data from different websites, harvesting and extracting data from different websites, right? Web scraping with, we have got models like URL, beautiful soup models for this, right? Apart from this, Python, like for audio video applications creations, audio and video applications, right? So I'll be showing some audio and video applications in our in our web development, right? Audio and video applications we can create by using Python. And Python not only for we have computer applications, right? Even for electronics, civil environment, right? Python is providing modules. And also for embedded applications, right? For embedded applications, the most famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its scripting. And apart from this, Python also used for CAD applications, 3D CAD applications, right? Computer aided designing CAD applications. Apart from this, Python is used for computer vision, right? For color detection, face detection, and object detection, Python is mostly preferred. Apart from this, it's used for data analysis. Python is used for data analysis and used within this robotics. So robotics with Python, we got like huge packages, right? Robotics with Python. And apart from this, for desktop applications creations, desktop applications like single user applications, console applications, right? So these are these are that some of the applications where Python was mostly used in developing this, right? Web applications, automations, big data applications, software development for business database applications, right? So now who are using Python today? Just I'll take 5-10 minutes more. Who are using Python today, right? Who are using Python today? Top most applications built by using Python. Top most applications. Top most applications built by using Python. Okay, who are using which companies are using Python today, and top most applications built by using Python? Okay, Python mostly used. If we talk about Python, Google using Python for its web search system. Python is one of the best Google is one of the best example for Python web applications. Yahoo is using Python. Yahoo using Python. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Uber using Python. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Instagram built by using Python. The prime reason for Instagram to choose for Python is its practicality and simplicity, right? And simple syntax is given by Python. And some other applications built by using Python like Quora, Reddit, like Pinterest, Quora, Reddit, Pinterest. Okay, the famous OTT platform Netflix using Python, right? For its security automation and for subscription purpose, right? Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python scripting. MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Dropbox using Python. Dropbox built by using Python. BitTorrent. BitTorrent uses Python for its file sharing service. NASA using Python, right? For its research and development activities because of Python hybrid features. iRobot. iRobot for military and commercial applications. Iron Port email server, right? Iron Port email server, which uses more than Iron Port email server, which uses more than 1 million lines of Python code for doing its job. And for hardware testing, right? Companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these they use Python for hardware testing. So from the discussion, okay, so these are some of this, right? But not only this, Python is mostly used. Some of the applications built using Python and who are using Python today. And topmost here and reasons, right? Which makes Python suddenly super popular. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. Super popular, right? Okay. First, very less coding you are going to see in Python. Very less coding, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming language like C, Java. And very less coding we see in Python. And simple syntaxes given by Python. Simple syntaxes. They look like normal English statements. Multi-programming features. Multi-programming features, right? Yes. Okay, like hybrid features Python has got, right? And one more important features what we can interact with Python statement by statement. Interactive mode given by Python. Interactive mode. Interactive mode, right? Interactive mode means I can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it is going to give response, right? If I go to CMD in the within the at the bottom search panel, if I say CMD and if I press enter, right, you can see this. Python, type Python here and say enter. Python version 3.11 is displayed and Python interpreter 3 arrow symbol. Here you can type any valid Python statements and interact with Python statement by statement. Check it. For every statement, it gives response. I'm asking Python what is 3 plus 4. It gives the response. 5 into 8, it gives the response. No need to give int x or float file like this. Directly I can say x has 10, y has 2. x plus y, x minus y, x into 2, x to the power of 2, double star, x power symbol, 10 square, 100. X equal to hello, x into 3, print hello for 3 times, x into 5, print hello for 5 times. In this way, any valid Python statements you can type, and you can interact with Python statement by statement. It gives response, right? This feature you cannot see in other programming language. Statement by Python is an interpretation language. So we can execute the statement by statement and get the response for every wide varieties of applications, right? I was discussing about all that applications where Python is used, preferred, wide wide varieties of application, many built-in libraries, many built-in libraries. So these are some of these, right? These are the reasons which makes Python super popular, right? And the usage of Python in the current industry, the scope of Python, and job market of Python, right? Just if you see, I was just saying from the last 10 years ago, you are not aware that there is a programming language like Python. But see, just I'm opening Google and just check popular coding language, right? So if you see from the last 2-3 years, Python is described as a highly readable programming language with automatic memory management. So Python is #1 ranked programming currently. Next comes Java and other programmings, where Python has got diversified number of applications, which makes Python as #1, right? If you see more results for this, see top 10 programming languages, right? Python, next comes JavaScript, Java, the other programmings, right? Yes. The most popular programming, so Python stands first. Next comes Java and other, right? Python remains most popular programming language. Most popular programming language used by top 25 unicorns. Python first, next Java, JavaScript. So Python is widely used today. And if you see ranking, see a popularity of Python programming language, right? Python, next Java, JavaScript. And if you see the ranking wise, Python is #1 ranked. Here you can see the rank language. So Python is #1 ranked, and next comes Java, C, right? And if you see the usage of Python currently, right here you can see 31%. So the big circle, what we see 31% is Python. You can see this is Java 19%, C++ nearly 9%, C 6% used in the industry, right? And coming to this, what is the course content that I'm going to discuss, right? See this, starting from the basics to the advanced level. Yes, so what is basics, Python basics? Nearly 30 topics in brief I am going to discuss, like what is Python, why Python, history, applications, features, advantages, Python operations. So Python operations modes: an interactive mode, batch mode, editors, IDs, data types, constants, variables, comments, type conversions, escape sequences, strings. Just I have given topics, but internally we'll have many subtopics for this. Operators in Python, with different types of operators supported. Python IDEs. In real time, we use IDEs, right? Like PyCharm, PyDev, Jupyter, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Atom, VS Code, right? So I'm going to show you on how to run this Python code on different IDEs, not on 1 or 2 IDEs. I'll be showing many IDEs, right? Nearly more than 5 IDEs. I'm going to show you how to run the code on those and how to execute. and also like in Anaconda distribution, installing Anaconda and what is Conda and Anaconda prompt navigator, Jupyter spider, all this, right? Flow control statements in Python, looping statements, strings, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, right? Similarly, collections like list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, operations, right? Functions for collections, right? Python lists, Python lists, right? Yes. Indexing, list slicing, list properties, list functions, list methods, nested list, list addresses, modifying lists. Similarly, the same operations and tuples, sets, and dictionaries, right? Python tuples, Python functions, different types of functions, function calling examples, argument types, right? Different types of functions like lambda function, filter function, map function, reduce functions. Different types of arguments like default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, and arbitrary arguments are variable. Models in Python. What is module? Different types of models creating user defined like import, normal import, from import, renaming a model, reloading a model, package in Python, errors and exceptions, different types of errors, and file handling in Python, object-oriented programming features, regular expressions, database connectivity. I'm going to show you installation of one database like MySQL and how to connect to the database and how to perform various database related operations. So as part of the course, I'm going to discuss about many modules related to different domains, right? Some modules related to data science, some modules related to databases, some modules related to big data, some modules related to graphics, some related to operating system, some related to regular expressions, right? Different types of modules. Python date and time, operating system module, OS mod, operating system module, advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closures, and decorators, web scraping, working with Excel files, CSV, JSON files, debugging, GUI graphic, GUI model, right? And Excel workbook, working with Excel workbook, Excel files, data analytics, right? Using models like NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas model in brief. Introduction to this data science at the last, and modules like Pandas model mostly used. It's important module. NumPy model, numerical Python, and Matplotlib for plottings and visualizations. Apart from this, right? Yes, Django, that is Django, people who go. Yes. So, and Django, those who go for Django, right? Yes. Django web applications creations. So, introduction, web frameworks, Django installation, project architecture, Django applications creations, Django views, Django templates, Django admin panel, Django models, working with databases, advanced concepts, ORM, faker module, rendering forms, multi-select field, and also UI technologies required for developing the web application. In brief, I'm going to discuss about HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, right, and MySQL. So those who go for, so every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video of every session, and clear notes will be provided for every topic. And so the offerings from my side, like notes, the videos, and Python, right? Python programming. In brief knowledge, in brief, in depth, we'll be discussing about Python. So getting the output is not the criteria. You need to build the code, how to build the code, right? How to write your own code. And Python nearly will be spending 70 hours, 70 to 80 hours, right? 70 to 80 hours in brief, in depth, like Python core, Python advanced application oriented modules. So it's an offer batch, it's for just 5,000, right? And apart from Python, those who wants to update with web development, means if you want to go for full stack total, like Django framework. Along with Django, I'm just going to give that knowledge on UI technologies required for developing web applications like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript. All this going to be covered, right? Apart from this, 20 plus applications, 20 plus apps creations will be 20 plus apps will be creating, right? You'll be developing along with me 20 apps applications you'll be developing, right? So for all this, the fees is like 5K. So if you take like combo like Python and Django, like it's a single payment, you can just go with 9K, right? So this is what the Python, right? You can see that in the chart panel, the online team has provided this the payment process and procedure, right? Payment details, other things, you can just check it. And don't forget to send a screenshot of that to that mail ID. Fine. And okay, so I'll be providing the assignments and tasks like every Friday, like I'll be providing some tasks and assignments to work with. So nearly 250 to 300 code examples as part of Python and 20 plus applications creations in Django. Totally, if we go, it will go for, if you go for total full stack, it will be for 4 months, 2 months for Python and 2 months for this Django and this UI technologies. So if we come back, like 1 second. So it takes 70 hours. This takes nearly 50 hours, totally 120 hours, right? 4 months, 2 months for this Python, 2 months for this. Okay, totally 4 months. But if you want to go parallelly also, you can just go with parallelly. We can complete everything within 2.5 months to 3 months. Means Python in the weekdays, these things in weekends, in attendance, right? So any queries from your side, you can go with your queries now, right? Fine. And you can attend the session. Next session will be on Monday, right? Tomorrow, Saturday, there is no class. So your sessions will be from Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, and next class will be on Monday, right? Monday you can attend the session. Everyone, you can attend the session same time and using the same link to see more on this Python. Monday, right? Yes. So if you got any queries, now you can go with your queries, right? Yes.
Yes, sir. Quick question.
Yes.
There is one batch running at 9 p.m., correct? So, is that full stack covered, sir? In the 9 p.m. batch?
Yeah. If you got enrolled for full stack, right? Compulsory,
Okay.
you can just attend it. You can attend this.
Okay. So, only question is, sir, sometimes if I can make it in the evening, I can attend that. Otherwise, morning. Would it be okay, or it has to be same batch that I has to enroll?
Once you get enrolled, you can attend any of my batch.
Any of your batches, right? Okay. Thanks, sir.
Okay, so if you are missing the sessions, you can go to the videos and you can attend. But if you are missed more sessions, like if you're like off a month or a total a month, right? You can continue in the next batch, right? Once you got enrolled, you can attend any of my batch. For revision purpose also, you can re-attend. If anyone from non-programming background, if you want to have a kind of revision, you can re-attend. You need to just intimate. I'll be forwarding the link so that you can continue it.
What is the difference between Python and full stack Python?
So Python, see here, Python, see there are two categories, yes. So there are two categories of people who update for Python, right? There are two categories of people who updates for Python. First category of people, right? They'll update Python. They'll update Python, right? And for implementing data science, for implementing big data, for writing scripts in AWS DevOps, and for robotics, writing automation scripts within robotics, in IoT, right? So in different high-end technologies, Python is used, right? People update Python just core and advanced, they'll update. So yes, that's what I'm saying, right? Even in the cloud environment, right? Writing automation scripts, right? Python is preferred. So for writing automation scripts, right? Instead of shell script, which is complex, too complex to understand, right? So we can go with, right? Yes. So people just update with Python core in advance, then they'll go for implementing this total implementation of data science in Python, even big data like Spark with Python. So second category of people who wants to have a career in Python itself, right? This first category, they won't have career in Python. They have career in data science, big data, AWS, DevOps, right? In IoT robotics, but implementation goes in Python. Second category of people who wants to have a career in Python as a Python developer, right? These people, they need to go forward and need to update with Django and that UI technologies, right? UI technologies, that is a full stack. They need to go. They need to have the complete picture of the web development process, how this application is going to get created. That's why I'm saying I'll be showing you 20 applications, right? First 2 to 3 applications, okay, you will feel something new. But once you go from 4th, 5th applications, the same steps you need to follow. So as a Python developer, you need to compulsory have the knowledge on Django and UI technologies, right? Fine.
And sir, one
And
more thing.
right, and for the fresher it is up to you, right? Means uh, Python is enough, but still if you want to update, because tomorrow if you get a job, tomorrow if you want to do a project, compulsory Django is required. Yes. Yeah, any query? Yes.
Sir, is there any interrelation between Python and Power BI?
Power BI is a reporting tool, right?
Yes. So we are using some reporting
So then
in Python.
I say one thing, right? I say one thing. Any software in the software field, directly or indirectly, you are going to touch Python. Any field, any software, you are going to directly or indirectly, you are going to touch Python, right? Even not only here, for non-program people also, you are going to touch, like administrators, database network administrators, system administrators. Instead of writing shell script, right, they are asked to get updated with Python, writing Python scripts, right? As looks simple as compared with complex shell script, right? So you need to, at this time, right, everyone having knowledge on Python is mandatory, because Python has got multi-programming features, is widely used today in different environments. It has got modules. For example, even in the cloud environment, right? Even for AWS, we have got Python providing modules like Boto 3. This various other platforms also, we have got thousands of modules Python is providing, right? Yes. And even it's like updating with Python, it adds an added weightage to your resume, right? That you have got knowledge and Python. Yeah. Any more queries? Anyone?
Thank you so much.
So, okay, if I'm done with the queries, right? So we'll meet again on Monday, same time, using the same link to see more on this Python, right? So, okay. So I'm stopping here for today. Yes. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.